My name is Emily Carter. I'm 29. Last Tuesday at 2:47 p.m., my mother stood in the lobby of my building, the one with the doorman and the marble floors, and the $990,000 price tag I worked 7 years to afford, and told me I was selfish for not giving her the money she needed. Not asked. Needed. "You'll do the right thing, won't you, baby?" she said, loud enough for the doorman to hear, loud enough for Mrs. Chen from 4B to pause with her grocery bags. "After everything we've sacrificed for you." I had $847.23 in my checking account. My savings account, the one I'd been building since my first overnight shift pumping gas at 19, was completely empty. She'd already taken it all. Before I go on, if stories about standing up for yourself mean something to you, please hit like and subscribe and tell me in the comments where you're watching from right now and what time is it there. Let me take you back 7 years to the day that split my life in half. May 14th, my college graduation. I'd finished summa cum laude from NC State with a degree in data analytics. I'd worked overnight shifts at a Shell station for 4 years to pay for it, came home smelling like gasoline and energy drinks, studied until my eyes burned. My parents didn't come. Sarah's engagement party was the same day. She'd scheduled it 3 weeks after I'd sent them my graduation information, and they chose champagne and appetizers over watching me walk across that stage. I remember standing in the auditorium lobby afterward, still in my cap and gown, watching families take photos. My phone buzzed. A text from my mother. "Sarah's so happy today. Wish you could be here to celebrate with us." There was a photo attached. My parents, my sister Sarah, her fiancé Michael Reed, all holding champagne glasses, smiling. I sat down on a concrete bench outside the science building. I sat there for 43 minutes. But 6 years before that, let me take you there. I was 13, and Uncle Thomas took me to get ice cream at Mel's Diner on a Thursday after school. He ordered me a hot fudge sundae with extra whipped cream, and he said, "You're going to do something remarkable, Emmy. I can see it." He was my mother's younger brother, the one the family didn't talk about much because he'd moved away, built his own accounting firm, didn't come to every holiday. "When it gets hard," he said, "and it will get hard because you're not Sarah, remember this: the truth always has a paper trail, always." I didn't understand what he meant then. I licked hot fudge off my spoon and nodded. "Promise me something," he said. "Keep records, everything, every receipt, every email, every conversation that feels wrong. You'll know when you need them." I promised. That first betrayal came 3 months after my graduation. I'd just started my entry-level position at Redmond Logistics, $42,000 a year, finally using my degree. My mother called on a Monday evening. "Honey, I need to talk to you about something serious." Her voice had that tight quality, the one that meant I was about to disappoint her. "Your father and I are struggling with the mortgage. We're 3 months behind. The bank is threatening foreclosure. We need $3,600 to catch up, and we need it by Friday." My hands went cold. "Mom, I thought you paid off the house in 2015. You told me Grandma's life insurance—" "We did pay it off," she snapped. "Then we had to take out a new mortgage for repairs. The roof, the foundation. You wouldn't know because you're never here." That edge in her voice, sharp as a blade. "Sarah helps us. Sarah visits every Sunday with Michael. But you, with your fancy degree and your data job, you can't spare a few $1,000s to keep your parents from losing their home?" I looked at my bank account. I had $4,100 saved. 4 months of living on instant ramen and skipping lunch. "I can send $1,500, I said. "That's all I have right now." The silence stretched for 6 seconds. "I see. Well, I suppose we'll just tell the bank that our daughter, the college graduate, couldn't be bothered to help her own family. Your sister just wrote us a check for $5,000 without even asking questions." She hung up. I sent the $1,500. I told myself it was the right thing. I told myself it would matter. It didn't. Over the next 6 years, the requests came like clockwork. $1,200 every month for the mortgage, emergency medical bills, car repairs, Sarah's wedding costs because you're her only sister. The cosign on Sarah's Chevy Equinox because your credit is better. Every request came with the same reminder. You'll do the right thing, won't you, baby? I always did the right thing. By year 3, I'd given them $43,200. By year 5, $72,000. I tracked it all in a spreadsheet, Uncle Thomas's voice in my head about paper trails, but I never said no. I got promoted to senior data analyst. I made $78,000 a year. I should have been able to save. Instead, I watched my credit score drop 11 points because Sarah missed payments on the car loan I'd co-signed. I got collection calls at work. I survived. I worked 60-hour weeks. I built financial models and supply chain analyses and earned a reputation for finding patterns no one else could see. My manager, David Torres, a kind man with 2 kids and a coffee addiction, once asked me why I looked so tired. "You're the best analyst we have," he said, "but you look like you're running on fumes." "Just family stuff," I said. He nodded. He didn't push. The public humiliation came on a Thursday afternoon in March. I was at Starbucks across from my office waiting for a client meeting. The place was packed, maybe 20 people in line, all the tables full. I was reading a report on my laptop when I heard my mother's voice. "Emily, there you are." I looked up. She was walking toward me with Sarah and Michael. My sister was pregnant, 6 months along, glowing in a cream maternity dress. My mother wore her church outfit, the navy blue suit with pearl earrings. "Mom," I said, "what are you doing here?" "We were shopping for the baby shower, and I saw you through the window." She was smiling, but her eyes weren't. "I've been calling you all week. You haven't answered." "Because I'd seen the caller ID and I didn't have any more money." "I've been swamped with work," I said quietly. "Can we talk later?" "Work." She said it like it was a joke. "You're always working, too busy for your own family." She turned to the people nearby, her voice rising. "This is my daughter, the one I told you about. She's very successful now, makes good money, but she won't help her own parents keep their home." My face burned. The woman at the next table looked away. The barista froze mid-pour. "Mom, that's not—" "We're about to lose the house, Emily. The bank is foreclosing. We need $8,000 by Monday." Her hand pressed to her chest, theatrical. "But I suppose that's too much to ask from someone who's too important to visit on Sundays." Sarah put a hand on Mom's arm. "Don't upset yourself. The stress isn't good for you." She looked at me with pity. "Emmy, if you can't help, just say so. We understand. Some people just aren't family-oriented." Something clicked inside me then. Not rage. Something colder. I looked at my mother's face, the performance of hurt, the way she angled herself so everyone could see her pain, and I understood. This wasn't about money. This had never been about money. "I can't help right now," I said. My voice was steady. "I'm sorry." My mother's eyes filled with tears. She pressed a tissue to her face. "I try so hard, Robert," she said to my father, who'd appeared from somewhere, silent as always. "I try so hard and she still resents me for loving her sister." My father looked at me. His voice was low and final. "You should apologize." I didn't. They left. The entire coffee shop had heard everything. I sat there with my laptop open, staring at a spreadsheet of shipping container routes, and I didn't cry. I didn't shake. I just sat. 3 days later, I found the first clue. I was cleaning out my apartment, the small one-bedroom I'd been renting for 5 years, and I found a box of old mail I'd shoved in the closet and forgotten. Junk mail mostly. But at the bottom was an envelope addressed to my parents from Fidelity Bank. It was dated October 2015, just after Grandma died. The envelope had been opened. Inside was a letter congratulating them on paying off their mortgage in full. I read it 3 times. They'd paid off the house in 2015. They'd paid it off with Grandma's life insurance, exactly like they'd told me, which meant every single mortgage payment I'd sent them for 6 years, $1,200 a month, $86,400 total, had been a lie. I sat on my apartment floor with that letter in my hands, and I couldn't breathe. My phone rang. My mother. I didn't answer. She called again and again. On the fourth call, I picked up. Emily, thank God. We need to talk about something urgent. The bank is. What's the address of your mortgage company? I said. Silence. What? The mortgage company. The one you've been paying for 6 years. What's their address? Why would you need. Because I want to send them a check directly. Cut out the middleman. My voice was calm, flat. You've told me how behind you are. I want to help. So give me the address and I'll send them a check today. The pause lasted 8 seconds. You don't trust your own mother? Her voice cracked. Hey, after everything I've sacrificed? After carrying you for 9 months and raising you and... The address, Mom. She hung up. I sat there holding my phone. Then I opened my laptop and pulled up the spreadsheet I'd been keeping. 6 years of transactions. Every Venmo payment, every check, every wire transfer. $86,400, plus the $22,000 car loan Sarah had defaulted on, plus the late fees, plus the credit score damage that had cost me a lower mortgage rate when I'd bought my penthouse last year. I'd given them everything, and they'd lied. That night, I emailed Uncle Thomas. We hadn't spoken in 2 years. My mother had implied he was unstable, unreliable, not someone I should associate with. But I remembered that hot fudge Sunday. I remembered his words about paper trails. His response came at 11:47 p.m. Call me tomorrow. I've been waiting for this. We met at a diner 40 minutes outside the city. Uncle Thomas looked older, gray at the temples, lines around his eyes. But he smiled when he saw me. Emmy, I wondered how long it would take. How long what would take? For you to figure it out. He slid a manila folder across the table. I hired a private investigator 3 years ago. Your mother's been pulling this scheme on multiple people, not just you, your cousin Rachel, her friend Barbara from church. She tells everyone a different story, but it's always the same pattern. Fake emergencies, fake debts, guilt trips. I opened the folder. Bank statements, emails, notarized affidavits from other victims, photos of my parents at expensive restaurants, beach vacations, a new RV parked in their driveway. The house has been paid off since 2015, Uncle Thomas said. They took Grandma's insurance money, $340,000, and paid it off in full. Then they started telling people they were drowning in debt. You weren't the first. You won't be the last unless someone stops them. My hands were shaking. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me 3 years ago, or would your mother have convinced you I was lying, trying to turn you against your family? He reached across the table and took my hand. You had to see it yourself. You had to be ready. I'm ready now. Good. He pulled out another envelope. This is from your grandma. She left it with me before she died. Made me promise to give it to you when the time was right. The envelope was cream-colored, sealed with wax. My grandmother's handwriting on the front. For Emily, when she needs it. I opened it with shaking fingers. The letter inside was written in her careful cursive. My dearest Emmy, if you're reading this, then I'm gone. And your mother is doing exactly what I knew she would do. She's telling you she needs money. She's making you feel guilty for having what you've earned. She's comparing you to Sarah and finding you wanting. I'm sorry I couldn't stop this while I was alive. I tried to talk to her, but Linda doesn't hear love. She only hears documents and bank statements and the threat of public shame. Do you remember when you were 7 and you told me you wanted to be a scientist? You said you wanted to discover things no one else could see. I told you that you already could. You saw patterns. You saw truth. I was right. The original mortgage payoff letter is with my attorney, James Morrison. His office is at 412 Westbrook Avenue, Suite 200. I've also left detailed financial records with him. Every dollar of my estate, how it was distributed, proof that your mother received $340,000 in 2015 and used it to pay off her house in full. Inside this envelope, you'll also find copies of bank statements showing their savings account balance $127,000 as of my death. The title to their house, clear, no liens. Sworn statements from their bank manager confirming no mortgage exists. A check from me to you, $50,000 from my personal savings, separate from the life insurance. Don't spend it yet. Save it. You'll need it for what comes next. You are not selfish. You are not ungrateful. You are not any of the things Linda will call you. You are brilliant and hardworking and kind to the point of letting people hurt you. Stop letting them hurt you. Wait for the right moment. Mr. Morrison will know when. And when that moment comes, remember, the truth doesn't need your defense. It defends itself. All my love, Grandma Rose, P.S. You were always my little scientist. Go discover the truth. I read the letter 4 times. I sat in that diner booth and cried so hard I couldn't breathe. Uncle Thomas sat across from me, quiet, patient. When I finally looked up, I said, "What do I do?" "You wait," he said. "Your mother will ask for something big soon, something public. She always does. And when she does, you'll be ready." The call came 6 weeks later. My mother, breathless, excited. "Emily, we're having a family dinner next month, June 23rd. Aunt Margaret is flying in, and Jessica and the kids and everyone from church. It's Father's Day weekend. I need you there." "Okay," I said. "And honey, I know you've been struggling, but we really need your help with the catering. It's going to be expensive feeding 30 people. Could you contribute $2,500? Sarah's already offered to cover decorations, but she's got the baby now, and Michael's hours got cut." "I'll be there," I said. "We can talk about it then." She sounded surprised. "Really? You'll come?" "Yes." "Well, good. It's about time you started acting like part of this family." I called James Morrison the next day. "I'm ready." June 23rd arrived hot and humid. I drove to my parents' yellow ranch house on Willow Lane at exactly 5 p.m. Cars lined the street. I counted 32 people in the backyard when I arrived. Family, church members, neighbors. Long tables covered in checkered cloths. String lights hanging from the oak trees. My father at the grill, flipping burgers. Sarah holding her 3-month-old daughter, surrounded by admirers. My mother saw me and her whole face changed. She rushed over, arms out. "Emily, you came! I wasn't sure you would." She hugged me, and I smelled her perfume, the same one she'd worn my whole life. Gardenias. "Hi, Mom." "Come on. Everyone's asking about you." "Well, some people are. You know how it is." She laughed, that tinkling sound. "Sarah's been telling everyone about her promotion. Michael got a new job, too. They're doing so well." I followed her to the tables. Aunt Margaret waved. Cousin Jessica smiled. Uncle Thomas, standing near the fence, gave me the smallest nod. Dinner was served at 6:30. We ate. We made small talk. Sarah showed off the baby. My mother stood up at 7:15 and tapped her wine glass with a fork. "I just want to say how grateful Robert and I are to have you all here. Family is everything. It's what gets us through hard times." She looked directly at me. "And we've had some hard times lately. But our daughters have been so supportive. Sarah has been here every single week, helping with everything. And Emily..." She paused. "Well, Emily's very busy with work, but she's here today, and that means the world." The table clapped politely. "Actually," my mother continued, "I wanted to talk about something important. As most of you know, Robert and I are struggling. The medical bills, the mortgage, everything just keeps piling up. We've tried to handle it ourselves, but we can't anymore. We're going to lose the house." Gasps around the table. Aunt Margaret's hand flew to her mouth. "We need $15,000 by the end of the month to save it. I know that's a lot. But if everyone could contribute something, even $500 would help. We might be able to keep our home. The home where we raised our girls, the home where we've had Christmas and Thanksgiving and birthdays. Her voice broke. She wiped her eyes. Sarah stood up. Mom, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. She turned to the table. Michael and I will contribute $3,000. It's not much, but it's what we have. Applause. People nodded. My mother hugged Sarah, crying. Then she looked at me. Emily, you make good money. Your penthouse must have cost, what, $1 million? Surely you can help your own parents. 32 pairs of eyes turned to me. I stood up slowly. I reached into my bag and pulled out a folder. Mom, I have something to show you. What? I opened the folder and removed the first document. This is a letter from Fidelity Bank dated October 2015. It says you paid off your mortgage in full using Grandma's life insurance money. The balance is 0. The color drained from her face. I pulled out the second document. This is a statement from your current bank showing no active mortgage on this property. The house is owned outright, free and clear. Emily, where did you get this? I said, pulling out a thick stack of printed pages. Is a record of every payment I've sent you over the last 6 years. $1,200 a month for a mortgage that doesn't exist. Total $86,400. The table was silent, completely silent. And this, I continued, my voice steady, is a sworn affidavit from your bank manager, Richard Chen, confirming that you have no mortgage, no liens, and a savings account balance of $127,000. My mother's mouth opened and closed. You're lying. You've always been jealous of Sarah. I have my hospital badge access logs from the dates you claimed I stole money from Grandma's safe. I was working overnight shifts at the Shell station on Northwest 43rd, time cards, surveillance footage, my manager's sworn statement. I was never at Grandma's house. Uncle Thomas stood up. Linda, I have statements from 3 other people you've run this scam on. Barbara Mitchell, Rachel Torres, David Kim from your church. You told each of them different stories about needing money. They all believed you. They all paid. And you lied to all of them. That's not... I never... My mother looked wildly around the table. Robert, tell them! Tell them about the mortgage! My father sat frozen, his face gray. Aunt Margaret stood up. Linda, is this true? Did you take money from Emily for a mortgage that doesn't exist? She's twisting everything. She's always been dramatic, always trying to make me look bad. Answer the question, Aunt Margaret said, her voice like ice. My mother's hands were shaking. We needed the money. For things. We're not rich like Emily with her fancy job and her penthouse. We deserve to have nice things too. You know how hard it's been. You lied, Jessica said quietly. You lied to everyone. Sarah was staring at our mother with her mouth open. Mom, the car loan, the one Emily co-signed for me, you said we needed it because we couldn't afford payments. Was that a lie too? My mother's face crumpled. You don't understand. Emily has always had everything easy. Good grades, good job, everyone thinking she's so smart. Nobody appreciates what I've sacrificed. You destroyed my credit score, I said quietly. You took $86,400 from me. You made me think I was a bad daughter for not giving you more. And you did it all while lying about a mortgage that was paid off 7 years ago. I placed one more document on the table. This is from Grandma Rose. She left it with Uncle Thomas, with instructions to give it to me when I needed it. She knew you'd do this, Mom. She knew, and she prepared for it. My mother lunged for the letter, but Uncle Thomas stepped in front of her. Don't! The table erupted, people talking over each other. Aunt Margaret demanding to see the documents. Jessica calling my mother a liar. Sarah crying, holding her baby. My father sitting silent, staring at his plate. I gathered my documents and put them back in the folder. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for truth. These documents speak for themselves. I've given my lawyer copies of everything. If anyone wants to verify anything I've said, his name is James Morrison. His office is at 412 Westbrook Avenue. I looked at my mother one last time. She was crying, mascara running down her face, but her eyes were furious. You'll regret this, she hissed. You'll regret humiliating your own mother. No, I said. I don't think I will. I walked out. Behind me, I heard my mother screaming, my father's low voice trying to calm her, Aunt Margaret's sharp questions. I got in my car and I drove away from that yellow ranch house, and I didn't look back. 3 days later, Sarah called me. I'm so sorry, she said. I didn't know about any of it. Mom told me you were just being difficult, that you didn't want to help. I believed her. I'm so sorry. Did you pay her back for the car loan? I asked. I'm setting up a payment plan, and I'm taking over the payments myself. I won't let your credit get hurt anymore. Okay. Can we have coffee sometime? Just us? Maybe, I said. Someday, but not yet. She understood. 2 weeks after that, I drove to Pleasant Hill Cemetery and found Grandma Rose's grave. The stone was simple. Rosemarie Carter, beloved mother, grandmother, friend. I sat on the grass next to it. I did it, I said out loud. I used the truth, just like you said. The wind moved through the oak trees. Birds sang. Thank you for seeing me, I whispered. Thank you for knowing. 1 year later, I'm still in my penthouse, the one I bought with money I earned, not money I was given. My credit score has recovered, back up to 780. Sarah and I have coffee once a month now. She's working on herself, going to therapy, trying to understand how she was part of Mom's manipulation without realizing it. My mother sent me a letter last month. No apology, just a reminder that I'm her daughter, and I owe her respect. I didn't respond. My father called once. Your mother's not well, he said. This has been very hard on her. Goodbye, Dad, I said, and hung up. Uncle Thomas and I have dinner every Sunday. We talk about work, about life, about everything except my mother. He's teaching me to play chess. I'm terrible at it, but I'm learning. I have a cat now, a gray tabby. I named her Rose. If you're watching this and you've ever been told you're selfish for having boundaries, type, I chose myself in the comments. Or if you're still trying to find the courage to walk away, type, I'm getting ready. Both are valid. Both take strength. If this story meant something to you, check the description for more stories just like this one. Thank you for being here.